going on, guys? Welcome to a new episode of In My Head, the series where I talk about things going in my life, my story, and things I'm working on. And today is probably one of the most important videos I'm going to make for this channel. And the reason why I'm not so energetic is because it's going to be real. Today's video I'm going to be talking about what it's like to live with a mental illness. And that's a tough video to make. I'm not going to talk about, in like kind of general terms of speaking like on anxiety and what it's like for everyone. I'm just going to talk from my own experience. And I hope that this video can maybe help someone today, or someone who doesn't know what it's like to live with a mental illness. They can have more understanding and then be more understanding to those who have mental illnesses. I'm not going to do many edits in this video, at least I don't think I am. And I'm just going to talk. So if you guys are ready to listen, here we go. What is it like to live with a mental illness? First off, I'm going to say I've never been diagnosed. It was something that I wanted when I originally started going to counseling at my college, but they don't do diagnosis. Is there's another department that did that, and I just never really looked into it. But I do want to say before anything that I know there's some people who do not want to get diagnosed because with that comes labels. To have a label defined to you, sometimes that can be hard. But I do want to say that if you are struggling with something, if you have been diagnosed or you're afraid to be diagnosed, I want to say that you are not your mental illness. You are not a label. You are more than that. Me, I struggle with anxiety and depression. There's probably more to that than that I don't know about, but that's what I know. But I'm not just a depressed guy. I'm not just a guy who's always anxious. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a musician. I'm a goofball. I'm an avid nerd. So those are the things that define me, not my mental illness. I just wanted to put that out there for anyone who may be struggling and might be struggling to get a diagnosis. But back to the topic of this video, what is it like to live with a mental illness? As I said, I have anxiety and depression, and I'm going to go into each one on its own and kind of how each play into the other, and then how I kind of try to manage them. Starting with anxiety, the reason why this series is called In My Head is because I am always in my head. I am always thinking about something. I don't think there's ever been a point that I'm not thinking about something. There's always something on my mind. And a lot of times it's very overwhelming because my thought process kind of goes like this. Where it's kind of like one thought, then I have another thought, then I have another thought, and then another thought, and another thought. Elena, you okay? You want to meet my dog? Come here, Elena. This is my dog, Elena. Elena, say hi. Anxiety. It's kind of like I said, I'm always kind of in a constant thought of things. And there'd be times where one of those thoughts, I become obsessed with it in a way. Where like, if I don't figure this thing out right down this instant, I'm going to keep thinking about it, and it starts to become overwhelming to the point where I just stop functioning. And that leads to me being anxious about it. Big thought. One of those things that's always consistent is a lot of times it's financial stuff. I have a budget sheet so I can see all my finances for the entire year. And that's one of my main concerns all the time, is thinking about money and making sure we have the money to do the things we need to do. And sometimes the thoughts about that is kind of overwhelming, and I have to stop everything I'm doing and go look at the budget sheet and figure out how we're going to do A, B, C, and D before I can get anything else done. But other times it could be thoughts about myself. It could be things that I feel down about, and I just focus in on that one thought, and it makes me anxious to the point that sometimes I shake. Normally when this happens, I get really quiet. My mood completely changes like in an instant, and I'm just kind of lost in my head. Other ways to describe anxiety for me is kind of like, one moment you're fine. Think about like if you're on a beach and you're playing in the water and you're back to the water and you're having a good time, having fun, and then a wave just comes over to you and smacks you in the back. And once you try to get back up, another wave comes back over and smacks you again, and smacks you again, and smacks you again, and smacks you again, and smacks you again. That's what anxiety is like to me. It's kind of like a constant smack in the back, and which leads to just like, if you think about it, like if you're in the ocean, you got smacked in the back by a wave and just kept getting hit, you're gonna get pretty freaked out and pretty like overwhelmed, like I gotta get up, I'm gonna drown, and that's what anxiety is like. It's like it comes out of nowhere and just hits you, and you just kind of panic until you come out of it, until it's over. So it's difficult. And for me personally, anxiety always leads into depression, which I'll get into in a second. Actually, I'll go into it now. Depression has been many different things for me over the years. It's changed depending on what's going on. I guess I've never been what people would say is stereotypical of people who have depression. And I don't mean say that in a bad way, because everyone's depression is different. Just for me personally, it never has been to the point where I feel like I can't do anything. I actually feel like I end up doing more when I'm depressed. I've always been able to get out of bed, brush my teeth, do the things I need to do. And I think that's more so just me personally, how I am. I don't let a lot of things knock me out. I kind of just keep pushing through it, which is part of the reason why I struggle with depression too, because I don't allow myself to rest. I don't listen to my body sometimes. So I've always been able to push through it, but for me, the depression's always been the thoughts in my head that are completely bad, the feeling of wanting to hurt myself, the feeling of not wanting to be on this earth anymore, and the feeling of being numb to the world around me, not being able to see the beauty of the world like everyone else can, but yet still being able to function. There have been points in my life where I've had those really bad knockdowns. I kept going, but I felt like an empty shell, but I kept going. But lately, depression has been more. I mean, I still get things done, but when I have those depressive episodes, I do listen to my body now to try to take some rest. But there's also there's things that happen now that didn't happen before. When I get really depressive and get into this manic state between going from anxiety into depression, which I have really bad mood swings. I'll in an instant can go from anxious and shaking to very sad to very angry, to the point where sometimes I will yell and scream and want to hit things. And it's a scary situation, especially for those around me, because I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like I'm anxious and then something triggers it and then I'm full out angry. And I don't mean to be angry, I don't mean to yell, I don't mean to want to punch a wall or whatever is near me on my desk. It kind of just happens in an instant. And I think it's for me, I think it's like an explosion of all the emotions that I just not been able to express coming out at one time, and me not understanding at all what exactly it is that's going on in my head at that time, you know? It's like with depression and anxiety, sometimes you don't understand exactly what's going on, and it takes a lot of time to process. And I think my anger comes from me not being able to understand, and then me trying to explain it to someone else, and they're not understanding, which then this pushes me even more to oh, I just can't figure it out. I'm just getting frustrated myself, being frustrated that I'm in this place again, and then just exploding. It's a very rough time for depression and anxiety. It's just a mess. It's a mess of feelings and emotions. And I found ways that help me in these times. First off, anxiety. What I've started doing now is it depends what it is. If it's from anxious about a certain thing, then I'll just full stop what I'm doing. I'll turn on a YouTube video, go watch TV. I'll try to take my mind off of it, so I stop obsessing about that thought, because I know that if I obsess about it too much, like I said, it's going to go into a full kind of panic where I'm just lost in my head. I might start shaking, and then, like I said, it's going to lead into depression, and it's going to lead into the anger and the frustration, and then this full-out meltdown. And I don't want that. And other times, like I said, I'm always thinking, and a lot of times, my fiance, she'll ask me, what are you thinking about? I'm like, nothing. She's like, I can tell you thinking about something. But to be honest, I just have a song in my head. A lot of times, if I'm not thinking, I'm playing a song in my head over and over and over and over again. And it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. It's kind of just like a natural instinct to do, and I think it's because I know subconsciously that if I'm not thinking about something positive or thinking about a song, then something else is going to fill that space, and then something else will come after that, and there's going to have those million thoughts going at 1 second. And I will play a song in my head just to keep my mind thinking about something else while I'm working on something else, or just sitting here watching TV or hanging out with my dog or whatever I'm doing. And when it comes to depression, that's the hard one. I think it's been a lot more self-awareness lately of realizing where I'm at mentally, and if I need to take a break, then I take that break. And if I know that I'm on the point of kind of at that point where I could snap like that, then, you know, being aware of that and also being more patient with myself and those around me, and trying to not let my mind win, not let the voices in my head win over what's being told to me by someone else I'm talking to, or whatever the situation is. And of course, if I do get to that point where I get to that breaking point, then I it's also self-awareness there of realizing I'm at my breaking point. I'm about to start yelling. I need to, of course, let myself feel what I'm feeling, but I don't need to yell. I don't need to hit things. I need to stay calm and just work my way through this as it's happening. So there's a lot of self-awareness there too, and I think that's really it. It's a hard thing to figure out, because everyone's case with anxiety or depression is different. You know, everyone doesn't have the same triggers. Not everyone has the same reactions to things. So when you start feeling your mental health declining and it's your first time dealing with it, it's a scary situation, because what works for me might not work for someone else. What works for them might not work for someone else. It's like finding your own way and your own path to handling this, and to, like, your friends around you or the people you have around you, loved ones, they're not going to understand it at first. And I know personally that's the most frustrating thing, when you try to tell this person what's going on and they have no idea what you're talking about, because they've never been there and they don't completely understand. And that's frustrating, and it really pushes you down even further into depression or whatever you're feeling, because you feel alone. But I want to tell you that you're gonna, if like you are struggling with something, you're gonna figure out how you best deal with it and how you best handle it, what you need. But it's gonna take some time, but you will figure it out. And you know, once you do, it does get a lot easier to handle. I've been in and out of depression for years. It's kind of, I've beat it, I'm good for a bit, and it comes back. But when it comes back, I know I can handle it, because I've done it before. I've gotten past it before. So it's just being patient with myself and being honest with myself too, and being honest with others. So if you are watching this video and you do feel like you're alone and you feel like you're struggling, no, you're not alone, because I'm here for you too. If you're watching this video and you feel like you need someone to talk to about this, leave me a comment down below. You can DM me on Instagram and I'll be there for you. We can talk, we can chat, we can talk about what's going on, or we can talk about anything else to get your mind off of it. I hope this video could help someone today, and I apologize for rambling. I really hope this makes sense in some type of way, but in a way, mental illnesses don't make sense at all. They're something, it's just, it's there, and you have to learn how to deal with it. And I do recommend counseling. That's another thing that takes a lot of time to find the right counselor for you, but it does help to work with someone who isn't in the situation with you, to really figure out what's going on and create a plan for you that can really help you in the situations. And also, I recommend getting diagnosed, so you know exactly what it is that you have, and you can better take care of yourself once you know exactly what it is that you're dealing with. Lastly, again, you're not alone. There are so many people in the world who are struggling right there with you, and from my own personal experience, a lot of them are ready and willing to listen to your story and help you out, because they've gone through it too, or are going through it too, and they don't want you to feel like they are. So they're willing to help, and that's me included. So thank you guys for watching this video. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next week with a new video. I'm JB, thank you, and I love you guys. Peace.